Good evening, everyone. There's something holding us back. Something more damaging than failure, more toxic than doubt, and more relentless than fear. It's a habit we all engage in, often without realizing it. And yet, it has the power to steal our happiness, kill our motivation, and keep us stuck in a cycle of frustration. The most self-destructive habit is comparison. We do it every day. We scroll through social media and measure our lives against someone else's highlight reel. We look at colleagues, friends, even strangers and wonder why they seem ahead while we feel behind. We convince ourselves that we are not enough, not successful enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But here's the problem. When we compare ourselves to others, we stop seeing our own progress. We become blind to our unique strengths and the journey that only we can take. Comparison is a trap because it is built on incomplete information. We see someone's success, but we don't see the sacrifices they made to get there. We see their achievements, but we don't see their struggles, their doubts, or their failures. And yet we assume that their path should be our path, that their timeline should be our timeline. But success is not a race and life is not a competition. The most fulfilled people don't waste time comparing. They focus on growth, not rankings. They measure progress, not perfection. They know that the only person they need to be better than is who they were yesterday. So if you want to break free from the most self-destructive habit, shift your focus. Stop looking sideways. Start looking forward. Your journey is yours alone, and the moment you embrace it fully is the moment you start truly living. Comparison is one of the most natural instincts we have as human beings. From a young age, we are conditioned to measure ourselves against others. Grades in school, athletic performance, career achievements, social status. It starts as a harmless observation but quickly turns into an unhealthy habit that shapes how we see ourselves. The problem is that comparison rarely motivates us in a positive way. Instead of inspiring growth, it often breeds insecurity, frustration, and self-doubt. It convinces us that we are not good enough, that we are falling behind, and that no matter what we accomplish, someone else is always doing better. The reason comparison is so destructive is that it shifts our focus away from what truly matters, our own journey. Instead of recognizing our unique strengths, experiences, and progress, we fixate on what others have that we don't. We start to believe that our worth is determined by external factors. Salaries, followers, material possessions, rather than by our own values, efforts, and character. Over time, this mindset creates a constant feeling of inadequacy, making us chase goals that don't even align with what we truly want. Instead of appreciating our own path, we get stuck in a cycle of looking sideways, always wondering why we're not where someone else is. Social media has amplified this problem like never before. We are bombarded with curated highlights of other people's lives, vacations, promotions, new houses, perfect relationships, without seeing the full picture. We compare our behind-the-scenes struggles to someone else's polished success story. But the truth is, no one posts their failures, doubts, or sacrifices. No one shares the sleepless nights, the moments of self-doubt, or the setbacks they faced along the way. And yet we assume that their success was effortless, while ours is a constant struggle. This illusion fuels self-doubt and creates unrealistic expectations that are impossible to meet. What makes comparison so dangerous is that it steals our ability to appreciate what we already have. It blinds us to our own progress and makes us feel like we're never enough, even when we are making significant strides in our lives. Instead of celebrating small victories, we dismiss them because they don't seem as impressive as someone else's big achievements. We stop recognizing our growth because we're too busy measuring it against a false standard, and in doing so, we lose sight of what truly matters. Becoming the best version of ourselves, at our own pace, in our own way. Comparison is based on incomplete information. One of the biggest reasons comparison is so dangerous is that it is built on incomplete information. When we compare ourselves to others, we are not making a fair or accurate assessment. We see the end result of someone's success, but we don't see the full journey it took to get there. We see their achievements, but we don't see the countless failures, rejections, and sacrifices they had to endure. This selective perception creates a distorted reality where we assume others have it easier, are naturally more talented, or are simply more lucky than we are. The truth is, success is rarely as effortless as it appears. But because we only see the highlight reel, we feel like we are the only ones struggling, when in reality, struggle is a universal part of growth. Social media and professional networks have made this illusion even stronger. We scroll through perfect snapshots of people's lives: new jobs, luxury vacations, dream homes, happy relationships. But what we don't see are the challenges behind those moments. We don't see the sleepless nights, the anxiety, the hard work, the failures, or the self-doubt they faced along the way. No one shares the years of rejection before landing that dream job. No one posts about the financial struggles they endured before success. We are comparing our behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's perfectly edited highlight reel, and that's an unfair comparison to make. The same applies in the workplace. We see colleagues getting promotions, raises, and recognition, and we assume they are naturally more skilled or talented. But we don't always see the extra hours they put in, the networking they did, or the failures they overcame to get there. We assume their journey was smooth while ours is filled with obstacles, when in fact everyone faces challenges. We just don't always see them. This leads to unnecessary frustration and self-doubt, making us feel like we're behind when in reality we are on our own unique path to growth. When we compare, we are often only looking at one small aspect of someone's life. We might envy their career success but completely overlook the struggles they have in their personal life. We might admire their confidence but have no idea about the internal battles they fight every day. No one has a perfect life, but comparison makes us believe that some people do, which leads to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. If we truly understood the full picture, the struggles, the failures, the sacrifices, we would realize that comparison is not only unfair, but also meaningless. Success has no fixed timeline. One of the biggest misconceptions we fall into when comparing ourselves to others is the idea that success follows a fixed timeline. We assume that by a certain age we should have achieved specific milestones. Graduate by 22, land a great job by 25, buy a house by 30, be financially stable by 35. But life doesn't work that way. There's no universal schedule for success. And yet, we pressure ourselves to keep up with others, believing that if we fall behind, we have failed. The truth is, everyone's journey is different, and success happens at different times for different people. The worst thing we can do is judge our progress based on someone else's timeline. Look at the world around us. Some of the most successful people didn't find their breakthroughs early in life. Colonel Sanders was in his 60s when he franchised KFC. Vera Wang didn't start designing wedding dresses until her 40s. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first job before becoming one of the most influential figures in media. If they had believed that success had to come early, they might have given up before they ever had a chance to achieve greatness. These stories remind us that there is no single path to success. Some people peak early, while others take years to find their true calling. Both are equally valid. The problem with comparing timelines is that it distracts us from our own progress. We get so caught up in where we should be that we fail to recognize how far we've actually come. We see others excelling in their careers, starting businesses, or achieving big life goals, and we assume that we are behind. But behind compared to what? Just because someone else has reached a milestone earlier doesn't mean we are failing. It simply means our paths are different. Growth is not a race, and success is not measured by how quickly we achieve things, but rather by how deeply we pursue what truly matters to us. When we stop obsessing over timelines, we start to appreciate our journey for what it is: unique, unpredictable, and full of opportunities. Some people may find their passion early, while others may spend years exploring before discovering what truly excites them. That's okay. The key is to focus on progress, not pace. The moment we let go of the belief that success has an expiration date, we free ourselves to grow at our own speed, to embrace the challenges along the way, and to define success on our own terms. Fulfillment comes from focusing on growth. When we measure success based on external comparisons, we set ourselves up for a lifetime of dissatisfaction. No matter how much we achieve, there will always be someone who appears to have more. More money, more recognition, more influence. But true fulfillment doesn't come from chasing someone else's definition of success. It comes from focusing on our own growth. The moment we shift our attention from competition to personal development, we start to experience real satisfaction. Start worrying about what others have accomplished, and start focusing on what truly matters: our progress, our purpose, and our own unique journey. Growth is not about reaching a final destination. It's about continuous improvement. When we fixate on comparison, we get caught up in outcomes, whether we have made it or not. But fulfillment doesn't come from crossing a finish line. It comes from the process of learning, evolving, and becoming better than we were yesterday. Think about the people who are truly happy in life. They are not the ones who obsess over what others are doing. They are the ones who stay committed to becoming the best version of themselves. They embrace challenges, push their limits, and find meaning in their own progress, not in how they measure up to someone else. The most dangerous aspect of comparison is that it distracts us from our own unique path. Imagine a runner constantly looking sideways instead of focusing on their own race. The moment they shift their focus to others, they lose momentum, slow down, and risk stumbling. The same is true in life. When we stop looking at what others are doing and start concentrating on our own progress, we move forward with confidence. We set meaningful goals, take consistent action, and appreciate the growth that comes with effort and persistence. The key to lasting fulfillment is not winning someone else's race. It's running our own race at our own pace. Personal growth is the only fair and meaningful way to measure success. Instead of asking, "Am I as successful as them?" we should be asking, "Am I learning? Am I improving? Am I growing?" When we prioritize growth, we experience real fulfillment. Because our progress is based on who we are becoming, not on how we compare to others. The most successful and content people in life don't focus on rankings or external validation. They focus on growth, learning, and personal mastery. And that is what leads to deep, lasting fulfillment. But breaking free from comparison allows real progress. When we stop comparing ourselves to others, we finally create space for real progress. Comparison keeps us trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and distraction, making it impossible to fully focus on our own goals. Every time we measure ourselves against someone else, we shift our energy away from growth and toward insecurity. But the moment we break free from comparison, we regain control over our own journey. We begin to set goals based on what truly matters to us, rather than chasing success based on what others have achieved. Real progress happens when we focus on becoming better than we were yesterday, not on whether we are ahead or behind someone else. Progress is a deeply personal journey. No two people start from the same place, face the same challenges, or have the same opportunities. When we compare, we overlook these differences and assume that we should be on the same path as someone else. But the reality is, everyone's circumstances, skills, and experiences are unique. Some people may achieve success quickly while others may take longer because their path requires different lessons. The only way to make meaningful progress is to focus on where we are today and how we can improve from here. The moment we stop looking sideways and start looking forward, we unlock our full potential. Breaking free from comparison also allows us to develop true confidence. When our self-worth is based on external validation, it is fragile. We feel good when we are ahead and discouraged when we are behind. But when our self-worth comes from knowing that we are growing, learning, and improving, it becomes unshakable. We stop seeking approval from others and start building confidence from within. Instead of feeling threatened by others' success, we feel inspired. Instead of feeling like we are not enough, we recognize that we are always evolving, and that alone is enough. The most successful and fulfilled people are those who stay focused on their own path. They don't waste energy comparing themselves to others. They use that energy to keep moving forward. They understand that progress is not about speed, but about consistency. Some days will be slow, some will be fast, but every step forward matters. The only real failure is standing still. When we stop measuring ourselves against others and commit to our own growth, we start to experience real, lasting progress. The kind that is not dependent on rankings, competition, or external validation, but on personal mastery and self-improvement. At the end of the day, the only person you need to compete with is who you were yesterday. Your journey is yours alone. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or walked your path. The moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, you take back control. You free yourself from the toxic habit of comparison and step into a mindset of growth, confidence, and purpose. So instead of asking, am I as successful as them? Start asking, am I improving? Am I learning? Am I moving forward? Because success isn't about being ahead of others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Let go of comparison, focus on progress, trust your journey, and most importantly, keep going. Thank you.